friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sharon for those meeting me for the first time, and this is Jael Nations for Christ Ministries. I come here daily as the Lord gives grace and utterance to give words of encouragement, prophetic words, and we pray also. And this is one of those days where the Lord would have me speak to his people. My returning subscribers, I won't forget you guys. Thank you for always coming back. Thank you for always coming back. I am super happy that you always stay with me. Thank you. And if you're just coming for the first time, as I said earlier, in my last 3 videos, I mentioned, and I will keep mentioning until the construction is over, they are building around me. So any sound you hear in this video is coming from there. I can't help it. I have to do what I have to do. They are doing what they have to do. So please, let's just, excuse it for now. And I pray God they hurry up and we get back to our silent, at least, environment again. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding. And I would indulge us. I would beg us, please. Kindly subscribe to my channel. God is doing great things here. I can tell you that. God is doing amazing things. I see God move in this place. He has promised it, and I know he will do it. He doesn't fail. He will not start now. So please stick with us as we grow together. And, tell somebody about us. Invite somebody. Share the content where necessary. Let somebody know that there is a place where they can get words of encouragement. Nobody needs to suffer. Our world today is filled with a lot of issues that people can't even talk about. Some persons can't even talk about it. Some persons don't even know who to tell. That's the truth. But God raises some of us at different points, different persons, to bring such words that could comfort somebody at specific times. We may not have all the words at the same time, but I'm sure God is trying to reach out to somebody at some point. God will never leave you alone. He will send someone. It now behoves on you to either meet the person, find the person, or accept the person when you see one. And this is one channel I know God is helping us greatly, to encourage somebody who is dejected, who is suicidal, to just know that Christ cares about them. God speaks to us most of the time, to either put you in check so that you don't get into those things that will put you in that bad state. Those are the things we do here. And this is one of that day that the Lord has made. And today he's telling us, I'm sure from the topic you've already seen it, our palace, your palace, my palace has protocols. Yeah. It has protocols. It has protocols. Father, I thank you for this day. Speak to your children and help them understand what you would have them know today. Speak through me, Lord. Speak through me. Let your name alone be glorified at the end of this, in Jesus' mighty name. Yes, my friends, God is telling us to be aware that our palace has protocols. I'm sure from the last 3 videos you would have noticed that it's all about getting us ready for diverse things. I didn't plan those messages. They were just coming that way. I even went and looked back and I was wondering, why am I preaching ready? And the Lord said that's what he would have me say at this time. And as at yesterday, we praised him ahead of receiving our promises. And today, he wants us to know that that place we want to get to, that place we want to be, has protocols. His protocols, by the way, majorly. And as an offshoot, it becomes the general protocol that you might encounter there. What is he talking about today? Let's look at Psalm 1 and verse 1 of Psalm 1. It says, I'm going to paraphrase. I need you to, because I'm going to refer to a lot of scriptures as we go. I will need you to read it later, but I would paraphrase it as much as I can. Blessed is he who does not sit with the scornful. Yeah, blessed is he who does not sit in the seat of the scornful. God is letting us know that the palace you are going to has protocols. He's letting us know, for those of us, everybody has their own dimension in this. There are a few points that I'm going to highlight. So whichever one applies to you or who you know, please let them know. First of all, the major one I'm going to start with is with gossips. If you are the type that talks too much, your palace won't allow that. Imagine a preacher who gossips. Let's assume you are a member of a certain church and your preacher gossips. You take your private matters to him or her for advice or prayer, and the next day you hear it on the pulpit. How would you feel? Yeah, that is where the Lord is bringing our attention to today. It's one thing to get the blessing. It's another thing to be able to keep the blessing. Are you aware that that place God wants to put you needs you to be silent? Not silent like dumb silence. You have to be responsible. Yeah, very responsible. You have to be dependable to an extent. It's only God that is almighty. But there are certain sensitive offices God is placing some of us. And he needs you to learn how to use your mouth. People can't trust you with words. People can't trust you with confidential matters. It's an error. A big one. And God is saying to that one person, if you are the type that can't keep it down, like keep it, just swallow it. Somebody tells you a thing. If you must illustrate with that topic just to bless someone else or correct someone else, you don't need to mention their names. You don't even need to describe them to the point where people will just know who you're talking about. Some people will say, no, I don't gossip. But you analyze something or someone to the point where they don't need no introduction anymore. Whoever you're telling already knows who you're talking about. God says your palace will not accommodate that. You might get to that palace. Of course, the blessing is released. But how long will you stay there now depends on you. Trust me, if the first, second, third person comes to you and all they tell you, they hear it on the streets the next day, I'm not very sure that more would want to come. I'm talking to preachers now, or even any sensitive office. Anybody. You are the one who takes the informations to the streets. You are the only one that knows everything. That's if they're looking for a topic in the environment, you are the person they come to. It's not an award, it's not an accolade, my friend. Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. God says you should begin to learn to keep it short, especially on sensitive matters. Nobody says you shouldn't talk. But when people can't trust you, there is a problem. When people see you coming and they begin to keep quiet, like, please don't talk anymore till she leaves. She broadcasts a lot. She talks a lot. She gossips a lot. That is not an achievement, my friend. That is not an achievement. I'm really going to talk to us today, as the Lord would have me say, with all due respect, please. Keep it down. And if you are in company of people who gossip and say you don't gossip, but you just sit and listen to gossip, you are part of it. You are part of it. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. You are part of it. And God says, be aware that your palace has protocols. Prayer has gotten you there. The mercies of God has gotten you there. But how long will you be there? That is in your hands. You will not decide that. Imagine being a confidential secretary and all company details is on the street. All company matters, secrets is on the street. Who will they come for when they want to sack? Your guess is as good as mine. So please, dear friends, your palace has protocols. Begin to learn to zip it. Let people be confident that if they come to you and tell you things, you can give them solutions or advice or whatever it is you can give them, and yet the matter is not heard by the third party. It really matters. Most people who are suicidal today or who has already committed suicide, most will tell you that they didn't see anybody to talk to, because the world has now become a place where everybody now talks about everybody carelessly. They tell you their secret, you broadcast it. The next time they won't come to you, and they now drown in their sorrow, drown in whatever thing that is ailing them. And later you hear suicide, you will not ask the person, why did he kill himself? This is not an excuse for you to kill yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord and go back to God to comfort you, to help you, to advise you, and lead you to the right person that will listen to you if you're in that category. But please, if you know God is opening up a place for you, a palace for you, a place, He has promised us, He has released it. Learn to understand the protocols that works in such places. Guard your mouth. Gossip is not a profession. It's not. It hurts a lot of persons. It hurts. It destroys things. And you'll be feeling like it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. So please, let's be aware. Your palace won't entertain that. If you get there, fine, because the mercy of God has taken you there. But God is now telling you, if you have this deficiency, kill it now. Come back to me for grace to kill it. To kill it, because my sister, my brother, that place is not where you should go and run your mouth. I just hope I'm saying this as much as I can. Let it get to that one person. Let it get to that one person. We heard of Joseph in the Bible. I think it's somewhere in Genesis 41:14, where it said the king sent for him and loosed him. When the king sent for him, Joseph shaved his hair and changed his clothes. For the next set of persons I'm going to talk about now, your association must change. Yes, because that palace you're going will not entertain the kind of crowd you keep. It will not. You know the peculiar kind of crowd you have right now. I can't explain that. I know mine. But the palace will not entertain it. There are things you must shave. There are things you must change. There are certain clothes you must change. There are certain characters you must change. The one that will not fit the palace, please drop it. Because as fast as you get into the palace, you come out faster. And that's not the blessings of God. The blessings of God makes rich and adds no sorrow. When God gives a blessing and there is now sorrow, it's no longer God's fault. Check it. Human factor has affected it somewhere. So God is asking us today. This is more like to let us know, so that not when you get the blessing and lose it the next day, you will begin to call God. God is not a wicked God. He gives you a thing, but can you sustain it? Do you have what it takes to sustain it? Not everything you say. Not everybody will go there with you. Even your lifestyle to an extent has to change. Yes, if you're the type that sleeps till late afternoon, late noon, and you get a new job, of course you have to start waking up a little earlier. So a lot of things will change. You know your own parts. Then are you the type that, okay, yours is to get married? As a woman, you get married. I'm not going to talk about submission because a lot of persons have talked about submission everywhere. But you are the type that curse out everybody and everything in your house. You curse out your in-laws, you curse out your children, you curse out everything and everybody. There is nobody you can't curse. And you don't even care. You will tell yourself that that is how you are. You are not like that. No, you are not. Something is wrong. You are not like that. I heard of a certain story. I'm sure it's in most places. I heard it somewhere. I can't remember how it originated, but I heard it. But I'm going to use it as an illustration, for the benefit of this message. A certain woman cried to God that she needed patience. That a lot of persons are running away from her and all of that. She needed patience, and God would have her at about that time. She was looking for a caregiver, a nanny or a housemaid or whatever it's called in your clime. She was looking for one. At about that time, she made that prayer, and God sent a certain lady came and she employed the person. And unfortunately, I don't know whether to say fortunately, this certain person was a very careless person. This person, this caregiver or housemaid that she employed, was a very careless person. She knocks things over. She trample over things. She just destroys things in the house. She picks up things, they drop. There is just something wrong about her every time she does something. You will always have a reason to want to say something because she will knock something over somehow. She won't get certain things done that she should have done. She was just getting on the woman's nerve at every point. Then the lady went back to God in prayer and said, Lord, I asked for patience. I asked that you baptize me with patience. This is not helping me at all. And I think the bottom line of that conversation with God was that he deliberately allowed that young lady to come to the house, that caregiver or whatever, whoever it was, to come to the house, so that she can learn patience. When this person does these things, you don't have to always shout to put your message across. You don't always have to snap. Just calm down and address the issue. Calm down. Ask God for grace to address the issue, and you will notice that you begin to get calm. But when you keep shouting, you're worsening the matter. And this lady took that advice and now began to do the opposite of exactly what she was doing before. In time, it didn't happen suddenly, but in time, this young lady became more careful when doing stuff. At least what she prayed for, the answer has come. God can answer you in diverse ways. But are you ready for the change? Is the question. This video is getting long already, but this message needs to get out there. Your peculiar deficiency or peculiar lifestyle that the palace will not accommodate. Now is the time to shave it off or pull it off. Whatever off that you have to do, the Lord is making you understand that your palace has protocols. If what you're taking there is not what it should be, drop it now, or else you might lose your palace, which is not what we all want. Nobody wants to lose the blessings they have been praying, crying all this while for. But God is bringing it to our notice. He loves his children, so he corrects them. He sends words of advice, admonitions where need be, and this is one of them. Don't carry the baggages of the enemy into your palace, into your promised land. It won't work there. Whatever you need to shave now. Whatever you need to drop, drop now. The one you need to pull off, pull off. That is what God is making us understand. And for decency's sake, it pays to be dependable. It pays to be dependable. The only person that will applaud you when you're doing the wrong thing is because the person is doing the wrong thing also. So if people still remain by you when you're doing the wrong thing, check it. They are like you. They are like you, so they don't see anything wrong with what you do. So those are the kind of people you should begin to shave. Begin to just shave them off, pull them off, drop them somewhere so that your next level can accommodate you and sustain you. This is what God is making us understand. Because of course, we know where the word that says birds of the same feather flock together. So if you're doing wrong and nobody is telling you anything around your clique, then something is wrong. That clique and you are one. So dear friend, God is letting you know your palace has protocols. What you carry now, begin to ask for grace. Lord, I don't want to do this. You know what made you lose your last job. I'm sure some of us, we can still tell if we are sincere to ourselves. I know my mistakes. I know my errors. And I ask God daily, help me, help me, help me. So God is bringing to our knowledge now. Be aware that way I am taking you, those doors I have opened have protocols. Don't carry this baggage there. You might lose the blessing. And you won't come back and say, I'm a bad father. I am a good God, but there are protocols. There are protocols. There are protocols. For those in the foreign land, you can't be working in the CIA and say 1,000 words per second and, and expect to still retain that job. I'm sure those kind of organizations have some rules where you have to guard your mouth at some point, even for your own safety. So, my dear, there are a whole lot of other things, examples that time will not permit us to say. If God gives grace another day, I might make another video to yet buttress other points. But right now, let's look inward. What is that thing that will hinder my palace, my promised land, my next level? What is that thing? What is that lifestyle? What is that character that would hinder it, obstruct it, or cut it short? Then let's do away with it. As you ask God for grace, He will give you. He said, he who lacks wisdom should ask, and He will give it to him liberally. That's what God says. Go to Him and ask Him for grace. He will give you. But saying it doesn't matter, it matters. Oh, it matters. Big time it matters. You only have people who will support your cause. You know, people like you that will support your cause. If you're doing the wrong thing and nobody's correcting you, you only have such people. But God is bringing you to a place where you will meet diverse kinds of people. Diverse kinds. You can't be a prayer warrior and somebody gives you a topic and you now begin to, you know, make certain kind of prayer points in a group where you know they know the person. You're not being confidential. Those are the things. I'm just remembering, trying to put some quickly. Just so we don't think that, no, this message is not for me. We all need this message, including me. Check the ones that is yours. It might not be for everybody, but check the one that is yours. Something. Very little thing sometimes is what will make you either lose your palace or cut it short. So let's not be the architects of our own failures. That is the summary of this entire message. May the Lord grant us understanding and the grace to do the right thing. This is my message today, friends, and I pray it gets to you. Please do the needful, and may God bless us. Thank you for watching my channel again today, and have yourself a blessed day. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.